Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to KHM Today, your bi-weekly resource for industry news and straight up fun. I'm your host, Carolyn Orff, and today is November 19th, 2025, and it is our final show of our 3 or 4 year run. That's still up for debate. But I'm so excited for you guys to be here today for this really fun occasion. So we're very excited. And to help me close out the show is the one, the only Bill Coyle, Vice President of Agent Engagement for KHM Travel Group. Welcome, Bill.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Carolyn. Appreciate this. Hello, everyone. This is kind of a, I don't know, it's not like melancholy. We're going to have some fun. We're going to talk through things of the last couple of years, but really it's to acknowledge the great work that's gone into this show. Thank Carolyn for all of the great things that have happened during these 3, 4, or 15 years. I'm not sure how long this show's been running for, but also just recognize that we understand that we've done a great job and what is moving forward, what is going to happen moving forward. So thanks for
Yeah,
having me, Carolyn.
it's bittersweet. We've had so much fun, but I think at the end of the day, when we were making the decision, I feel like we've done what we set out to do for now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
we're good with that.
it's gone way beyond what I think was set out to do. It's just gone way beyond because it's not only I remember the original goal and the original thought, right? But it's gone way beyond that because you've developed a character, you've developed a meaning to the relationship between the advisor and maybe someone who's thinking about joining KHM and KHM, and brought KHM to light to so many people. So, and through the whole process, it's been like teaching everyone about what this is all about, what this relationship and journey together has been like. So it's gone way above and beyond that. I hope that you feel that way because I know that the perception and the visual quality from everyone on the executive team all the way down to our frontline team members have felt that way as well.
Absolutely. I mean, when I think about how every year we've kind of changed and evolved, um,
Yeah.
feeling not only what our needs were to feel fulfilled, but also how we could fill the needs of our travel agents, those that are with KHM and those that aren't. We know there's an audience out there that's watching that are not part of KHM. And that's been really fun. It's been fun to hear what other team members felt like was needed and how they could contribute. And boy, we've just had the most amazing team. So let me just start by saying thanks to Sam, the most amazing producer in the world, who's been like since day one. She has been on this journey and needed to work the technology, which when you're working with someone like me, either goes well or not well. Like there's never an in between. So her patience is unwavering. Sarah Mayfield from my team has stepped in and helped create content and ideas. Annie and Ashley and Sarah Rawlings, like we have some really good, fun production meetings. They're not always serious. And it's been a huge run. It's been an absolute huge run. Why are you laughing? Like, I feel like there's something going on back there.
No, I'm with your team right here at the world headquarters of KHM, so I'm hearing them. But the important thing about what you said is you said something really, really important, and you said working with someone like me. And that's an important factor of what you said there. I don't want to get too deep, but I want to know what you think working with someone like you is. I'm going to put you on the spot, and then I'm going to ask Sam. I don't know if Sam can come into this or not, but I think that Sam's been behind the camera for all of these years, for all this time. I'm not sure if she's been on the show, or probably she has been, but maybe not often. But I would like to ask Sam some questions as well. So putting her on the spot too, because I want to know about what that is like, that person, Carolyn, right? So I'm curious about your thoughts on someone like you. What exactly does that
Yeah.
mean?
So I think I'm fun. I do require laughter. I don't take myself super seriously. So I
Right.
know when I'm being dumb, right? And I have my moments. But I also challenge people, I think, and myself to be the best, do the best, and work hard. So that's hard sometimes because I expect a lot, not only of myself, but the people that I work with. But we also know when we can be silly and laugh. So that
So
I
isn't
think
this
is kind of me in a nutshell.
Yeah, I agree. I love the silliness. I love your ability to have vision on what you want, work with others to make that work, and then the silliness part of it too. But isn't that part of what our travel advisors who are watching or who have always watched the show, that should be their life and their mantra as well, right?
You
I
have to have some levity, right? Because if you don't
Yes,
laugh, you might just cry all the
right,
time.
exactly.
So I
We're
think
fortunate to have each other, and I think sometimes our agents work alone, and they have no one who understands what they're going through on a daily basis. I know I say that all the time, but that's why they need levity. That's why they need to laugh a little bit.
I think, Bill, there was, we had our weekend boot camp just a couple weeks ago. And I remember, and I think I've noticed this a couple times with our boot camp events, where after about 24 hours, they start to read my facial expressions and they'll ask a question and then I'll pause and I apparently make a face. And
Hmm,
usually someone in the room will say, all right, she's ready to tell us like it is. And so I feel like I can be straightforward and
yeah,
just be like, look, that's not how it works. Or why are you doing it that way? But at the same time, almost in the same breath, make a joke to make it lighter or tell a silly story about myself to make someone feel like they're not off base, but that they probably need to think about the way they're doing something. And let me tell you something about how I used to do that. And now maybe you shouldn't do that.
yes,
So does that
yes,
make sense? So
yeah.
I can be serious and forceful, but at the same time, like, don't take yourself so seriously. You're here to learn. So if you knew everything, you wouldn't be here.
There's comfort in knowing that, and I think that they feel more comfortable after that time period, and then they see the other side of you. But also that the way that you handle it and the way that the show has gone is it complements all of the things that are being done in an educational and an engagement world. I think
Yeah.
that's probably what I liked mostly about the show is that it was a complement to everything that was being done. Now, I'm not going to skip ahead. I'm going to try to get to some of these. Um, Beyond the fantastic viewer numbers, what is the most meaningful piece of feedback that you received about the show, which validated your efforts?
I think when we would walk into a room with agents from boot camp and someone would say, I saw you on YouTube and it was one of the reasons I decided to call KHM.
Yeah,
And they've said that about you too. They've seen travel agent tips, but
fantastic. Yeah,
between the two, nothing makes you feel better than knowing that someone saw you, in the context of what you were doing, um, and felt comfortable enough and felt connected through a screen to say, I need to make that phone call.
definitely agree. And then it's the idea that they see you and they kind of get giddy. They're like, there's Carolyn. Oh my gosh, I don't know. Should I go up to her? Should I talk to her? Should I not talk to
Yeah.
her? Is it okay to see her? Because there is a level of excitement when you meet someone that you've seen so often or that someone that you've admired from afar and then all of a sudden you're getting to meet them and you're like, oh my gosh, you get that level of nervousness and then they get to meet you and like, oh, all right, she's really cool, she's comfortable.
Yeah. Someone once told me they didn't know if I'd be nice.
Oh,
And
that's funny.
I said, oh, well, I hope I'm nice. And they said, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. But I can see that, right? They weren't
Definitely.
quite sure,
Yeah,
in real life, are you nice? And I
yeah.
feel like I'm nice.
Sam, I see our audience are they making points or questions or is there anything?
I see Lawrence. Lawrence was one of the first on the shows.
Yeah,
Yes. Tina Baker, I see that you're on. Tina knows for a fact that because she's a recent boot camper, she knows my face and when I'm ready to throw it down.
that's funny. Lawrence is on here, and Lawrence, our most recent Hall of Famer. I don't know if any one of you have had a chance to spend real quality time with Lawrence. I've got probably 10 years worth of stories to tell about or with Lawrence. But if you haven't had a chance to meet him or spend time with him, he's a true gem and someone that you should really get to spend time with because he's an amazing person. I'm
Well,
very blessed that I get to travel with him.
he's not only fun, but he says it like it is
Yes.
and will shed light. And if you're
Yes.
open to the light, you can learn a lot.
I agree. That's a good way to put it. I
Yeah.
agree with you on that. So, across all the episodes, what is the single most value? Oh, we already did that one. Um, in your opinion, this is funny. In your opinion, like what do you mean? In your opinion, for God's sakes, who was the most memorable guest, or what was your most memorable interview?
Um, there's several, but early on we had challenged, and we were right out of COVID, so
Right.
everyone was trying to get FaceTime. So our suppliers were bringing out all the stops. So early on, we were talking to Vicky Freed, Dondra Ritzenthaler.
Yeah.
Jackie Marks came for National Beer Day and showed up with her beer. I can't remember the gentleman's name, but he was the VP of food and beverage for Carnival. And
Wow.
he was fascinating, absolutely fascinating. Because we got to hear from someone we normally wouldn't hear from, and kind of that behind the scenes look. And he made a cocktail, and that was really interesting. We heard from, I got to reach for a second because I have to remember her name, Geraldine Ray, who was
Oh
an
yeah.
author. She was our
Yeah.
first author. And then we just had another author on. I'm forgetting her name at the moment, purple hair. And I read her book, and she's coming out with another book. So authors were really cool. I've always loved having Charlie on from Clea, and
Yes.
we've had Zane on from Asta.
Oh my goodness.
Um,
Wow.
our,
That's a
but I
great
will
thing.
say, like, those are like kind of what I would consider like famous people. Our agents, when I think, who was it? It was Dee
Oh yes.
and Mandy Goddard did their packing
Oh gosh, the packing
and
one.
the carry-on. Oh my God. That I think has some of our highest views because it was so crazy how they did this. And we also did some what's in my carry-on episodes, which was very funny to see what people packed in there to like carry on board. And we know your tune has changed. You're snacks, snacks, and snacks. Uh,
Yes. So
but
true.
that's kind of changed. Now it's healthy snacks.
Yes, healthy snacks,
Yeah.
absolutely. The bag is filled with them. Well, it's energy snacks also. It's something that, my gosh, not too long ago, I don't know when it was. I've been traveling so much I can't remember. But anyway, the last couple of days probably, we were in a situation where I knew I was going to be not able to eat for a while, and I reached out, and right there was a bar that I needed. It was just
Yep.
perfect. But yeah, I recall some of those. I haven't seen all of them, but I remember Vicky Freed and I remember the Jackie Marks one. There was so many early on that really, you're right. They wanted that FaceTime because of COVID,
Hmm.
but and that was a great outlet for them. It really
Yep.
was.
And
It really was.
when you think about it too, the number of costumes, heads I've worn, all sorts of
Do we have a
weird.
blooper reel? Like, do we have a reel of those things? We've got to make one of those. Seriously, we've got to roll that.
We were really big into costumes for a while.
I remember. I remember glancing over at the show and I'm like, what is
What?
Carolyn wearing now?
Well, you know what? Again, it was
Letting me
that
apart.
levity at the time. Everyone needed a laugh. We were
Yeah.
still kind of easing out of COVID. People were still finding their footing. And it was, oh my God. I mean, people seriously started to text saying, what are you going to wear today? That's going to and we also did a poll one year. What should I be for Halloween? And we
Oh
did a
my gosh.
poll and we had three choices, and whoever voted the most, that's what I was.
That's hilarious. Lots of great things. Um, we talk about the times in the past and the show and the great people that we had on, the great topics that you had all the time, and there was a lot of educational processes through that as well, right? People were learning as they were going. What do you think, and what do you foresee coming in 2026? And what are some of your educational goals moving forward?
Gosh, I feel like my personal goal is to just keep up with my supplier training. It is so hard
Yeah.
to find the time for that in between all the other stuff. Um, So that is kind of my goal. But for everyone else, I feel like 2026 is the year of hands on learning. We do a lot of like, I don't want to say lecturing, but it's lecture slash discussion. What I've noticed is our agents aren't quiet. So, except for those first day boot camp 1.0ers,
Right.
everyone else walks in the room and they're ready to chat. And so lecture doesn't really work. And what I've found is they want to learn from each other as much as they want to learn from our teams. So that's really our thing for 2026 is how can we put into practice more hands-on learning, more bouncing ideas off of each other, small group learning. And I've got 3 words for 2026. It's enlighten, empower, excel. So we're going to share what you think, give you some time to think about that, empower you with the tools and the knowledge, and then it's up to you to go put it into practice and excel. And, most agents know that we do track their progress. So my team and I are always looking at, since you've attended an event, 1.0, 2.0, are your sales increasing? Are you on our radar as far as, do you need assistance? Do you not need assistance? And
Right.
so we just kind of track those things to see, are these events helping? And if they're not, what feedback do we get and receive so that we can improve? Education is evolving. It's one of the most aggravating fields to be in because you can't just sit still.
Yeah.
You have to constantly be evolving. But that's evolving also trying to not make sure that your team goes crazy, right? We've talked about this ad nauseum where we don't want to be redoing an entire event every single time. We just need to be building and tweaking, just tweaks. We don't need to
Yes.
change everything because there's lots of good stuff. It's just how do we tweak that just a little bit to maybe make it land better or more understandable?
Yeah, and then leaving some time open for all of the most recent issues that are going
Yes.
on in travel, and how do we handle these things?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the idea of coming to a boot camp, Destination Success, Luxury Symposium is that cutting edge change, learning, adapting, etc., with those who are associated with your host agency. And I think that that's one of the most important things. And I know you speak often about what are some of the events outside of KHM that are best for our agents. I think that that's an important topic as well. And you
Hmm.
probably cover that multiple times on your show.
We have because we want to make sure that people are going to the right place for their return on investment.
Yeah,
And, we're always going to say we want you to come to us first, right? That's where we always want you to come because it's not only great education, but it's also camaraderie and feeling comfortable and not getting overwhelmed. But then there are times, right, that you should go out and see what else is out there. Maybe take a fam that's with someone else, and you meet other agents and you learn their best practices. We've got
that's
a lot of
huge.
great people that do great things, but there are other great. I mean, I've got lots of friends that are not with KHM, and I learn from them every day, just like I learn from each and every one of our agents.
I was
Guidance
on
is
a
key.
I was on a plane coming home yesterday from, I believe it was the flight from Fort Lauderdale to Atlanta. And behind me was a couple sitting there, and I could tell that they were travel advisors. So I heard them talking, and I turned around. I says, "Hey, obviously you guys were on the ship, blah blah blah." Well, anyway, I'll tell you something funny. So we're talking, probably spoke for a half hour. They're from Birmingham, Alabama, and then I got a picture from your friend Shelly last night, who was out to dinner with that same couple. So it's just so
Yep.
funny. The world is so small when it comes to travel. It's
It's so
crazy.
small and it's so fun. It's the best industry to be in. Um, and you have to be open to learning from everyone else. You might not
Yes.
agree with their
Yeah,
practice, but it does make you think.
definitely. And so, Carolyn, you've been traveling quite a bit this year. Number one place you've been to, or resort, ship, product. What was your most memorable from this year?
So I'm gonna say that the coolest thing I've ever done is the event that you were with me at with the carnival celebration key with the private jet. Like that was something else. And I know
So
you were
cool.
sharing that this morning at our monthly company meeting, and I just kept chuckling because out of that whole experience, all I kept thinking about is the fantastic flight attendants that kept going up and down the aisles with snacks, and I took everything, everything. And the woman next to me is like, "Are you hungry? Like we just had breakfast." And I was like, "No, no, no. If they're offering it, I'm going to take it because I might
Definitely.
need it later." Um,
These
and
were
they had
these
great
were
snacks.
top of the line snacks too. They
Yes,
were
they
like big
did.
time.
They did. So that was probably the most like, whew, that was cool. But I
Yeah.
will tell you the event where I probably learned the most this year was at TLN Edge.
Mhm.
And I am not big on the huge conferences because I can easily get overwhelmed by options and by people. And because it's a lot of people. Oops, I feel like someone just left me. Did Bill just leave me? Well, I'm here, so I'm going to keep talking. Looks like I'm still live. Someone tell me in the chat if I'm still live and Bill just fell off. So I, is someone going to tell me that I fell off? Oh, you're good. Bill just fell off. Okay, good. Thanks, Sam. So TLN Edge, I get it's overwhelming, but for some reason, oh, there we are. You're back.
Hi everyone. Bill's back.
For some reason this year, it was just speaking to me. And
Yeah.
I was super engaged. And maybe it's because I actually had like a true purpose this year. I had defined what my purpose was before I went. And so when every session I sat into, I sat in there because I had a goal of taking it out, of what I wanted to take away. And so I found it super valuable. I was able to bring back what I needed for my team for KHM, and I loved it. Now Las Vegas, I don't ever have to go there again.
Please God.
But
Don't let me go
I
there again.
did like the connections that were made with the agents that were there. I loved the sessions I went to, and I loved the connections with suppliers and the other people that were there. I had the pleasure of sitting at the Disney table for the awards dinner, and that was super fun as well. They're a fun bunch of people.
That they are a fun bunch. I agree with
Yeah.
you. So I agree with you. TLN Edge was fantastic this year. Don't let me go back to Vegas again. I'm not a big Vegas guy anymore, but I used to love Las Vegas. It was one of my favorite places. And I'm curious on your for your audience here where they've been this year that they thought was really really cool, and what they did as well. And then what's on your what's on Carolyn's bucket list from a destination or a product? Like what do you guys want to do, whether it's you and Mike or just you and your sister, you and your mom? What do you want to do?
Yeah, so I'm taking my mom to Africa in October of 2026.
That's right.
Um, so I'm very excited about that. I've shared that with a few agents, and they really want me to like do some sort of like show because my mom is going to be 82, and they think I'm ridiculous for taking my mom and doing the glamping tent thing. So this was a very fun conversation we had with a group of agents at Luxury Symposium. So I got to figure out how to like, maybe I need to take your Daniel along with
Take
me
Daniel,
to
he'll record the whole thing.
to record the whole thing. But I'm very excited about that. I'm excited about our trip to Italy in just a week's time. I'll be going on the gold trip to Italy, to Tuscany. That's the first time I've ever been there. Not to Italy in general, but to the Tuscany area. And yeah, that's kind of all that's on my plate for this year. You know, I still have two kids in college, so they need to one needs to graduate, and then we have more free time and free income. So Tina, I see. Hi, Brenda. Brenda's one of my oldest travel agent friends. Tina's on here. Tina, I know you loved your seminar at sea. That was the most amazing group ever. Who is Checklist Travels? Tell me your name because that name's not sounding right. Oh, there you're back again.
Bye, everyone.
I'm
Say
just
again.
talking. I'm just talking to everyone. Now,
Yeah.
see, you guys, all
If
these
we
shows,
lose
and it's
you,
not my internet.
if we lose you, just keep talking because
That's what I'm
he's having
doing.
some
That's what I'm
issues.
doing. But Bill, in case you weren't, I had said I'm very excited about our trip coming up in another week. Yeah, that's kind of my next thing.
No, this is going to be awesome. I'm so excited about this experience. We get to experience a new product. We haven't been on Colette.
Yep.
which is great. You've never been to Tuscany, which I think you're going to be fine to be absolutely amazing. So yeah, there's a lot of great. I think there's a lot of great things that we're going to do. We're going to experience together next week.
And I've never done a bus tour. Like I've never done something like this before. So I'm really interested to see if this is a travel style that I personally can get on board with. I've sold this travel style, but I don't know if how I'm going to feel about this.
From a guy who's been on a few of these bus tours, escorted travel. Um, the one difference we're going to find this coming trip is that we're staying in one place. So we're
Yes.
very fortunate that we're not packing and unpacking every night or every 2 nights or 3 nights. That's going to be one of the blessings. So it's going to be, one of the things that drives me crazy about escorted touring is the luggage pull. Luggage pull, 6 a.m. I'm like, what? Like, that's insane. So we won't have that, thank God. That stuff stays in the room, and we get on the
Yeah.
motor coach and we go to a different city every single day.
Yes. So I'm
It's gonna be cool.
particularly interested in the day that we spend on the farm,
Yes, the farm day.
the farm day. I'm very excited. I'm planning my outfit and the cooking class. The cooking class I'm very excited about.
Always exciting to do a cooking class in the Tuscan region. It's just
Yeah.
wonderful.
So
Any
that's
did anyone else have anything that they added that they enjoyed this year or looking forward to?
no, there didn't. Tina said she loved her seminar at sea.
Which one was she on?
She was on this last one on the celebration. Yeah.
Uh, oh, awesome.
Oh, and Lawrence said to call him about Africa. I'm very excited. Lawrence, October cannot come soon enough. Like I have all my thoughts and I got to start thinking about my luggage, and it's not just a quick jump on the plane trip. There's a lot of planning that goes into Africa, and we're on with Globus. So I'm very excited about that. So I don't have to do a whole lot of thinking in that realm, but the prep for this trip is a little bit more than I'm used to.
If anyone knows Africa, it's Lawrence. So yeah,
Yeah.
I would definitely reach out. That's going to
Yeah.
be awesome. Just talk about any of the particular things. All right. So if you had to choose a travel themed superhero based on your most reliable travel skill or lack thereof, I love this. Which superhero would you be?
Oh gosh. Well, I'm directionally challenged.
So
So
maybe not Superman.
I
He's
would
got too
need
much.
to have a superpower that allowed me to not get lost.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a reason I live in Colorado. You can't get lost here as long as you can see the mountains. The
That's
mountains
exactly
are
right.
always west.
Wow.
So I know that, but anywhere else I'll go in circles.
Interesting. Well, we're fortunate to live in Northeast Ohio because we can't go any further than the lake, right? So if you base everything on Lake Erie, you're going to have to go left or right. You just can't
Yes.
keep going north. That's funny. All right. Well, that's a good superhero one. What about from a way for our agents to stay connected? Those who mostly relied on the show, what do you think is going to be the best way for them to stay connected in the future?
Okay, so you got to be tuning into Amy on Monday on
Yes.
Facebook, and you've got to be tuning in to Bill on Friday. Like that's where you're going to get a lot of news and updates.
Yeah.
Silliness, you got to be coming to some events. You need to be watching for special things that are happening at KHM, maybe in the evening or during the day with suppliers. We've got our suppliers showcase, super supplier showcase coming up again in December. So there's 2 nights of those. So there's
Wow.
lots of ways to stay connected and up to date. But certainly, if you can attend Bootcamp 1.0, 2.0, Destination Success this summer, Crystal, all of those are going to help you continue to stay connected. And who knows, we could be Barbara Walters, and we'll have a special here and there when there's a topic that we feel like is super important that we want to get out to everyone. But and then again, you just want to chat because you miss my voice. You can either listen to the replays or call for a coaching call.
Thank you for saying that. That is so critical that they just call for a coaching call. That'd be
Yes.
huge.
Send an email, guys. I took the Acuity link out of the portal because I was always having to email people to reschedule. But if you just email and let me know what your schedule is like, I email you back pretty quickly and we find a time and you can tell me we don't even have to talk business. We can just talk about life, because somehow that always correlates and relates and
Always.
overwhelms, what's happening in your business. So either
Yeah.
way.
You're awesome at that. You're awesome at the idea of just a sounding board for things. Could it be that they need validation on some of their thoughts that they have? Could it be that they need a complete revamp of their schedule? I was speaking to an agent earlier this year, and she said, I had a one-on-one with Carolyn. I'm like, oh, how'd it go? Oh my God. She has me at 8:15, I'm doing this. At 10:25, I'm doing this. At 11:30, I'm doing this. I'm like, did you need that? She said, absolutely.
Yeah.
She needed a more regimented plan.
Yeah.
And that way it gives her or him the idea that when they're off of that plan, they're really off of it, right? Because they've done all the things that they needed to do during the scheduled time.
I'm working with someone right now who sends me weekly check-ins, because she struggles. She's got a lot of balls that she's juggling, and she's trying to find processes that help her stay focused.
Wow.
But there are some things in life that just sort of happen. And so it's working through those. And it's also understanding that you're a work in progress. And just because things don't go great one week does not mean that it's all for naught, right? And it's a bust. So every Monday I get a fabulous check-in, and I just respond quickly with, that's fantastic. This sounds great. Let's talk about this during our next call, because we can work on this. And it's changing that conversation way. Now, hold on a second. I know something went really well this week. What was it? Let's start with that. And then let's talk about the things that you can work on.
I
Um,
love that. I think you bring relevance to them, current relevance to them, and it really just helps them understand a little bit better that they are going in the right direction or that they may need a tweak here or there.
well, and not for anything. Sometimes you're way too hard on yourselves, guys. Like,
Yeah, they are.
way too hard on yourselves. And I feel like sometimes I just have to be the person that says, I'm sorry, but what's the problem here? There isn't a problem. You're doing great.
Well, I can say that, from my perspective, when I think back to when you came on to KHM and uh, I, I thought about this and I thought, oh my goodness, what does Bill's role look like when he has of the superhero coming in? And I think about that and I didn't know that at the time, and it's an evolution of your amazing talents, but the level of comfort and pride in that has just been unbelievable. So I want you to know how proud I am of you, but more importantly how happy I am with you and your progression, to not just be an awesome person but to be a great travel advisor, which you are, a continuing practice travel advisor, and a great educator and teacher, someone who can bring them. I feel one of the best things that you do is you bring them to something faster, and make it easier for them to ascertain that and understand what you've taught them. There's comprehension there where I think that we are lacking a little bit of that before. So I'm just so happy with what you've done. I'm so proud of this show and all of the work that everyone has put into this. I just sit here thinking, oh my God, I'm the most blessed guy in the world to think that I have you leading a team that's going in the right direction for our advisors, truly going in the right direction.
Well, I appreciate that. And I always tell people, like, I had to wow you. You were not wowed by me. I had to you were not. I was kind of thrown at you. You're like, here you go. She's
Yeah,
here.
yeah,
You know, figure it out.
yeah.
And I don't even think that you had a resume from me for the first like 2 years, three
No,
years.
true.
And
It's true.
so, it was just kind of, I had to really work to wow you and to show you what I knew. And I appreciated that challenge, right? It wasn't just someone saying, I couldn't sit back. I had to really show you what I could do, what I was made of, what I knew. And, you were never afraid of that. If anything, it was more of a challenge,
Yes.
um, to kind of come to that place where Bill has his way, Carolyn has her way. And guess what? It still works, right? We say it all the time at boot camp. There's lots of right ways to do it, but there
That's
is a wrong
absolutely true.
way.
Yeah.
So we're gonna shed some light on maybe the wrong way, but we're gonna give you multiple ways. And I mean, my gosh, when I think of the number of times I learned from Wanda and the way she does things, and Matt and VA and
Amazing.
every other agent where I've gone, that's how you do that? Um, Really kind of astounding over the years.
And I
And
think that
me
that's what
too,
the
right?
agents are
Amy and
getting from you.
Meredith, oh, they're so tech savvy. It hurts my brain.
So
Yet
true.
they can, run around the country, the world without any paper. This boggles my mind. You guys see my dog in the
Unbelievable.
background?
Yeah, no, it's so true. Meredith just worked. Meredith, I have no idea where she is half the time. Thank God her tracker's on so that I can, her location services are on
Yeah.
so I can see where she is. But more importantly, that she can operate from anywhere. But I think that that's what the agents get from you as well. What does Carolyn do differently than what I do? And it's kind of cool that you have that variation of processes that they learn from.
Yeah, it's been a wild ride. It's so fun, and I think that I can't say enough how much I look forward to the next thing,
Right.
whatever that is, to be able to learn and listen and take into consideration what other people are thinking and feeling and doing in their business, and be able to share that with others and our suppliers and whomever else needs to hear it, because um, there's some pretty powerful voices within this company, and I absolutely adore hearing each and every one of them, whether or not I agree, or it's a practice I
No,
wanted to put
it's
into
true.
play. It's still important to hear.
Yeah. It's fighting the good fight and not necessarily a fight, but the idea that we always have to fight the good fight and we have to do what's best for our advisors, our agents, who are our customers. And your sole goal has been to get them to where they want to be sooner, faster, and more educated.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
God
And the
bless you.
same goes, Bill, with, we've been on Sammy, with Sammy from the marketing team. He does the Facebook Lives. And I remember the first time I did one with him, and I kind of I think I stunned him into silence because I was so straightforward with the agents that were on the Facebook Live. And I feel like that's what I try to do, at least. Let me be real with you. Let me tell you it like it is, in the kindest way possible. But I want you to know what this industry is truly about,
Yeah,
and the challenges that present themselves and how you can overcome them to be fantastic. And I think there's so many names on here that I see that have been presented with challenges. And they are some of the people that we all go to say, how would you handle this?
I agree. Let's get Sam on. Sam, can you turn your
Yeah.
camera on, please?
Or, or
Oh, we're
just
gonna have reverberation. Come and sit over here, Sam.
come sit over there real quick, because I need you all to see.
I'll just give it to Sam. All right, 30 seconds. Let's get Sam on here. You know, um, I'm putting her on the spot because I remember when we talked about, the sun setting, she was so she was so into this that it's like, oh my gosh, if we do this for nothing else, we got to do this for Sam because Sam loves this so much, right? So,
Well, you guys have to understand, like, all those graphics and all
yeah,
that funny stuff. I mean, that is Sam's, like, um it's her talent, it's her skill set, it's a gift. I mean, every single week that she'd send me the graphic to post, I mean, I never knew what I was getting. And it became, you just have to get on board with it. And, like, Sam, you don't, like, scream silliness, and then you create these graphics, and it's like, oh my
that's
gosh,
funny.
where did this come from? It's the
Well,
Halloween ones in particular.
I mean, they came from the pictures that you took. I mean, you gave me what to work with. I mean, you should see the pictures I have of you. I'm gonna keep those
Oh
forever.
golly.
Yep, yep. If I ever get killed by a serial killer, guys, they're gonna go to Sam first, because she has my picture. Like, her entire wallpaper is all sorts of my face.
Oh, that's funny.
It's
Well,
been so. Sam, what's been your favorite part?
I mean, I think what we just talked about, making the graphics, I mean, that's something, I mean, I feel like in the corporate job, like I'm making resources for agents to, better their business and doing all these things, which I enjoy. I love doing design work, but getting to add that little silly stuff into there has always been fun. And you're so easy to work with to make them happen too. And we've gotten Bill into some of them too, which is
Yep.
always fun as well.
yeah. My
Um,
birthday last year, I can't believe all the work Sam did for that. That was absolutely insane. And those floating
And so
heads are
Annie
still
did
flying around
one.
here.
But
and Annie did them
yes, the
too.
little floating heads in the cupcakes was all
Oh
me.
my God, that is huge. I think about Annie and Sam, and I see Annie's role has just progressed so much, and our agents just love Annie. Um, not just because you take great pictures of them, because you have a great personality, that they don't get to see Sam's personality as often because she's the passion behind the camera, right? So
Mhm.
it's important that we acknowledge you, Sam, and thank you for all the work that you've done on this and everything that you do that's so behind the scenes. I see you standing over there all day, every day, doing all of this work, and it's like, hi Sam, as we run by, we think we're so important running by, but we wouldn't have anything to run by with if it wasn't for Sam putting the stuff in our hand to run by. So truly
Right.
appreciate you, Sam.
Yeah, your team, and led by Sarah Rawlings and of course Lisa. Um, you guys are always up for whatever craziness one of us threw at you, right? Crazy ideas like, okay, could we do this? Should we do this? And the entire team is like that in the marketing
Yes.
department. So, really up for anything if it makes sense. And I do want to say, Sam, what did you say at boot camp last week? Was it, if it's in your hands, we made it? Is that what you said?
I believe I said, if you see it, we did it.
If
Yes.
you see it, we did it. And do you remember what Robert responded? Like, if you were paid it, we did it, or
We
something
did it.
like
Yeah.
that.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Well, it's the
it's
same
been
thing.
good.
It's like it's their boot camps and like trying to describe like what I do. It's like, I mean, if you see it, like we had some sort of hand in it. Like it's hard to describe everything we do. I mean, it's backgrounds, it's workbooks, it's your name tags, it's the graphics you see on Facebook, it's backgrounds, the
Yeah.
passports, which Annie is putting in there. Like you
Yep.
get ready next
And
year.
and Sam, these are all elements that, number one, make us look super professional as a company. They
Sure.
make people feel warm and welcome, which is what we
Hmm.
always try to do at boot camps. And I think they also make them feel special. And it's something that sets us apart from others in the industry. And it might just look like a name tag, but it means so much more than that. It means so much more to the person that's wearing it and to the people that are seeing it. So it has been such a fantastic ride with you, and with the entire team that works on this weekly, coming up with ideas and who should be on the show and things like that. But you have been the person behind the camera every single episode. So thank you, my
208.
dear. I absolutely love you.
Yes,
I love
I
you
agree,
too,
Sam.
Carolyn.
Ah, so sweet.
There's those tears.
Yeah. Well, it's, you talk about these shows that end and people get all emotional and all that stuff, and I get that, but there's just so much more, right? Every time we do something at KHM, the next thing is going to be even greater. So we'll
Yes.
look forward to everyone being involved in that as well.
And we should say that this is ending because we feel like we've done what we can in this realm, but that just gives us a few more hours
Yeah,
each week to improve or do something even better than we've done. And we've seen that with luxury, we've seen that with boot camps, and we've definitely seen it with destination success. And that's where we really like, that was important to us to have the time to throw our energy and our ideas into that. So we truly believe that nothing is leaving you. It's just being put into different avenues so that we can continue to provide, really, in my mind, something that no one else is doing out there in the industry.
good point. I love that.
So
Well, I'll let you close out, Carolyn, but
yeah,
thank you everyone for watching. Appreciate and love you all. Catch up with you soon.
you guys, I hope you have enjoyed. I don't know, Sam, is it 210 episodes now? 208? I forget.
Um, I believe technically this is 207, and then we have two little bonus episodes coming. They won't be live, but
Yes. So, to all of you out there, thanks for tuning in each and every week, and either on YouTube or on our podcast. And don't forget to continue to like and subscribe, because you never know what's going to be put out there. And remember, it's not too late to donate to your local food bank. We will be releasing a final message, I think, tomorrow. And then next week, you will see our food bank challenge that we did just recently in Brunswick with Stephanie Kritz from Agent Support and myself, where we challenged each other with $30 at the grocery store to see how much money we could buy for the food bank. So thank you all for being there. Sam, did you have a correction on a date? Or did
I
I say it right?
believe the food bank challenge will be next Wednesday, and December 3rd will be the final goodbye message.
Perfect. Thank you so much, everyone. Love you all. Thanks, Bill.
Thank you.
Bye.